Alright class, last section of chapter 7 we are doing circle graphs. We're going to create some and we're going to interpret the data in circle graphs today. So the hard work, or the meat and potatoes of it, is creating circle graphs. But if we understand circles, then creating them won't be too difficult because we've been doing proportions all chapter long. So let's see what this looks like, circle graphs. Again, always write down what we are doing. So what is a circle graph? We use it to compare parts of data to a whole. Alright, so you have to have all the data somehow represented. It could be a certain number, it could be as a percent. Usually have it as a percent. But we can take all the data, which adds up to 100% of the data, and make a circle graph out of it. Now, how we translate the percent to a circle graph is knowing things about a circle. If I were to go all the way around a circle, like this, how many degrees is one full turn around a circle? Well, that's 360 degrees. Alright, so if I know a circle is 360, and I know my percent is out of 100, so say this example is 19 here, it's 19 out of 100. Well, 19 out of 100 is equal to how many degrees out of 360? Well, there we go. We have our proportion. If we want to use proportions, it's the part over the whole. So part of the percent over the whole percent equals part of the degrees over the whole degrees. So I can do this, or I can use my percent by just going of means multiply. So 19% of 360 means take 0.19 times 360, and it's going to be a 68 degree angle for that circle. Okay, so this section of the circle, the guitars of my problem down here, is going to be 68 degrees. The drums is 17%, so I do 0.17 times 360, and that's going to be a 61 degree angle. Piano will be 12%, which will turn into a 43 degree angle. So all of these should add up to 360 in the end, about. Okay, because it's around here and there. But it should be added up to around 360, and these should always add up to 100%. My percent's added to 100. Okay? Now how we draw the circles is we have to use this thing called a compass, which I'll pull up right here. And I'll hand these out in class today, the ones that I have. But here is a compass. We use this by looking at the degrees on the outside here. So we always put our thing in the middle, the center of the compass in the middle of our circle, and then we can go around making our degree marks. Okay? So let's go ahead and practice one of these and see what it looks like. Here's a guide to practice. In a recent survey, 34% of kids said they like cheese pizza. So on the side here, I'll say cheese is 34%. 28 is pepperoni. I'll abbreviate. Pepperoni is 28. And 21 is mushroom. That's pretty high for mushroom. I like mushrooms, but not many people do, I guess. And the 17% chose other. Okay, sausage, Canadian bacon, whatever. Other is 17%. So I need to turn these into degrees so I can make an actual circle graph. Alright, so we just did that in the previous slide. How do I turn this into degrees? Well, it's 34% of 360. So all these are of 360. That means multiply them by 360. So I'm going to take 0.34 times 360. And I get 122.4. So that rounds to 122. Let's do whole numbers, make it easier on us. Degrees. 28% of 360. So I take 0.28 times 360. I get 100.8. So I'll make that 101. That rounds to 21% of 360 is 75.6. So that rounds up to 76 degrees. And if I'm right here, all these should have to 360. Let's see if it works out. 17% of 360 is 61.2. That rounds to 61 degrees. And if I added all these up, I do believe I get 360. Alright. Now, how do I make it? Well, each section has this many degrees. So let's start with the cheese section. Let me pull out my compass. So we're going to start by making a straight line somewhere. Let's go straight across right here. The compass is going to tell me where 122 degrees is. So I put my center right there on the center. I'm just going to make a dot at 122 degrees. So here's 0 degrees. I go all the way around. Here's 90. Here's 120. I got to go 2 notches past that. So boom, boom. I'll make a dot right there. Okay, and on your paper, you'll just use your pencil to make a dot, and you're going to draw a straight line from the center to that dot. Okay, and then you erase this outside part, so it'll be somewhere around right there. So that represents 34%. That's my cheese. 34% is cheese. There you go. Alright, now pepperoni is 101 degrees. So now what I have to do is I have to take my compass and I have to line it up off of, no, let me try this again here. I want to move you, there we go. I want to try to line it up with this. It'll be much easier for you to do. Okay. And now my zero's lined up with the 0 again, and now I want to do 101 degrees. So 101 degrees, I go all the way around here. Here's 90, right angle is 90. Here's 100. Okay, I want 101, so I go 1 notch past that, so I'm going to go right there as my dot. And I'm going to connect a straight line from the center to that dot. And that's going to be pepperoni. There's pepperoni. This will be much faster for you guys not doing it on a computer. And that's 28%. Alright. Last two I gotta do a 76-degree angle, and then the last one I don't really have to do. I can check my work to make sure I did it right, but the remaining percent should be 61. So let's just use 76%, and then we should be done. So I'm gonna grab my compass here. I'm gonna put the center in the center. I'm going to spin this until the 0's on that last line I drew, which is right there. Adjust this so it's at the center. There we go. And I want to make a dot at how many degrees? 76. So here's 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And I go 6 notches past. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 5. That's a good marker. And 6 is 1 past that. So there's 76 degrees. Move the compass out of the way. Draw a straight line from the center to that point. Erase the part that's outside the circle. I'm just estimating there. Boom. Mushroom, 21%. So that's how you make these circle graphs. Alright. I'm writing sloppily with my mouse, but it works out. And then 17% for other. Alright, so that's the hard part of today. Let's see if it matches. Now, it doesn't matter where you start your circles at, as long as the sections are correct. But you see 34% looks pretty much the same. Other, mushroom, pepperoni, they just went in reverse order, kind of. So, looks pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. Yeah, let's move on and do some simpler problems. Okay. Here's a circle graph. I want to construct a circle graph. We just did that. Let's not do another one. We did the same thing. Let's jump down to here, where I have to interpret the data. This is the easy part today. Alright, interpreting the data. So here I have all my percentages. They're going to ask me a question based on my data here. So here it is. The circle graph to the right shows the U.S. government spends its money. Where do we spend our money? Well, it looks like a lot of it's on Social Security. Next is health, defense, other, debt, social services. If they spent $10 billion total, how much more money is spent on health defense? how much more money is spent on health than defense? There we go. Read it right, Mr. Griner. Health and defense. So, 22% of, what's the total? 10 billion. So I do 22% of 10 billion, which is 2.2 billion. For defense, it's 20%. Well, what's 20% of the whole thing? 10 billion. 2 billion. How much more spent on health than defense? I need to subtract those two numbers. 2.2 billion minus 2 billion would look like 0.2 billion, but that actually is 200 million in real life. Okay, so 0.2 billion is 200 million. You can just multiply the percent by the whole. Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we did here. You know, the whole thing was the degrees. We're concerned about the degrees. Now we're concerned about the budget. Not too difficult to interpret these, but constructing them takes a little bit of work. Convert your percent to the angle, and you got to use your compass today. All right, that's probably what we need the most practice with, but it's going to help us understand angles a little better. So, have a wonderful day creating circles in math today, and this is our last section of chapter 7. So, enjoy it. We're moving on from here. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.